Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you've had a beautiful week so far. If this is your first time coming across this page, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and most importantly, actually watch the first video that I put up. Okay, so we'll just go right, or I will just go right into the conversation for today. And I thought that the best place to start off this podcast from is actually defining who a HR professional is. I know that, it might be safe to assume that everyone knows what HR is supposed to do, what their functions are, and then you might just be surprised. Not too many or not everyone knows the scope of what the HR profession entails. And so that is where I would be starting off today. I will just take you through the core functions of HR, right? And at the end of this video, you should be able to know what and what are the functions of a HR person, what and what is not their function. So if the HR in your office is doing overstaffing or is not doing their job, I mean, you know, and how HR has evolved over the years, right? It's not the same way the profession is practiced, or it's not the same way it was practiced 10, 15, 20 years ago. That's not the same way it is practiced now. So all of this is what we're going to discuss today. So let's get right into it. Okay, so a human resource professional, HR for short, in simple terms, is somebody who manages the employee of an organization. So all of the other people that work in that organization, it's the duty and the singular function of the human resource person to manage them. In another way, we can say managing the employee from the time they join the organization, which we call onboarding, to the time they exit the organization, which we call offboarding, right? So everything in between, from that start to that finish, is what the human resource department is there to manage. Now, so what are the core functions or the core responsibilities of the HR department? First of all, recruitment, or some people call it talent management, some people say talent acquisition, whatever it is called in your organizations. The nomenclature it differs or it varies, right? And so talent management is one of the core functions of the HR department. So this includes your recruitment, you want to hire someone, you want to fire someone, you want to replace an employee, and all that in between, onboarding, your induction exercise, all those things falls under the talent management function that the HR department oversees, right? And so interviews, job vacancies, posting job on career websites, job boards, all those things, that falls under the talent management or recruitment function. Secondly, performance management. And this is the function that allows the HR department to be able to gauge performance. Now, don't forget that everyone you hire or everyone we hire into the organization is meant to do a job, right? Upon entry or upon resumption, you tell them, okay, this is what I've hired you to do. I'm paying you salary, or as the case may be, service fee if it's a contractual employment, all those things, so that you can get A and B done for me. Now you need to be able to monitor to say, look, are you doing what I've hired you to do? Are you doing what I have paid you to do? How well are you doing it? How resourceful are you? How efficient are you? All of this, right, sits under the performance management function. And it always encompasses a lot. Reviews, some people do it quarterly, monthly, and all that. We can always take a deep dive into that later on. The next core function of the HR department is compensation and benefits. In some organization, this solely sits with the accounts or the finance department in collaboration with HR. So HR provides the data, accounts department computes the figure. What should their salary be? Are we making any deductions? So in some organizations, it's a collaborative effort between HR and finance, while in some organization, HR totally oversees that function, right? Compensation and benefit, they are certain what this person should be paid per grade level, salary bands, and all those things. So that is the third core function of the HR department. Now, the next core function that we have is administration. So this is where your employee database, keeping records of employees, getting their data, and all those things, ensuring that you gather their emergency contacts, majorly database processing or administrative work. This also sits under the purview of HR. In some organization, again, this sometimes is separate from the HR function. So you have like admin separately and you have human resource, but from time to time they would always work together. In some organizations, HR and admin collapsed into one function or into one department with the different, different persons handling what and what, right? So just to do a bit of recap, we've spoken about 4 different functions: recruitment or talent management, performance management, the third one, compensation and benefits, and then the fourth, administration. Now the fifth core function of the HR department is training and development. Remember I mentioned that HR is responsible for every employee in an organization from the time they join to the time they say, bye-bye, I'm no longer working for this company, I found a better job. So you're also responsible for making sure that it's not the same way the employee joined that they are leaving. They must be better off mentally, professionally. So this sits under the training and development part. So HR is responsible for organizing trainings. It can be department based, organization based. Trainings take different form. It can be in-person learning. It can be virtual, whatever works really. There's no one size fits all, right? So, but solely sits under the purview of the HR department. Training, ensuring that employees are developed. Some people send their employees for training outside the country. All of that. HR manages that whole process, right? And so the last core function is employee relations. This has to do with everything you do to ensure that the workplace is a healthy place for the employee. So the company culture will sit under this one. If it's an organization that has union, if it's unionized, this is where the HR would ensure that there's a smooth relationship between the union and the management. So for people that don't know, a union within an organization is a group of people, or the organization or the subgroup that focuses on ensuring that the employees are treated fairly and in line with the labor laws of that particular country. So, in an organization that is unionized, oh my goodness, I don't know what I just said, but unionized, In an organization that is unionized, HR must ensure that the union and management, they have a good working relationship. It's peaceful and all of that. So that sits under employee relations. And so these are the six core functions that the HR department is expected to manage. So for those of us that think that HR is just there to stand at the gate to address latecomers or to catch latecomers and all, no. That's one that sits under administration. That's one of the responsibilities under one of the functions of HR. So, or for some people that think that HR is just there to hire and fire, they're just there to give queries left and right, or they're there to be deducting your money, deducting your salary. No, it's definitely more than that. And I hope that, you have learned one or two new things today. Now, with regards to how HR has evolved, right? So a few years ago, with the evolution or the digitalization that has happened globally, certain things have sort of become an adopted function or an additional function now to the HR function. Now, this is where we talk about DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Every organization now is looking to position themselves as an inclusive organization. So that has now become an added function to the HR team. Of course, not solely on the HR alone, but it has become one of the key functions of the HR department. Also, HRIS, which is ensuring, we've moved away from the manual employee processing, employee data processing, and all of that. It has become digital. So that has also become an added function. You now need to know how to use softwares to store employee data. So the profession has evolved over the years, right? It has moved away from just being operational or just being administrative in nature to being more strategic. And I'm sure you must have seen a whole lot of buzz around that, becoming a strategic HR and all of that. For those of us that are other employees in the organization, you might have seen some campaign that HR has launched, and all that. That's because, like every other thing, the world has also moved on from so many things. We are here where we are now. So the profession has also evolved. And at this point, I would like to mention, just in case you're watching this video and you want to start a career in HR and you've been wondering how to do that, there is the chance to either specialize or to generalize, right? Specialization is you're focusing on one function within HR. So for example, you'll see some people say, I'm a recruitment specialist, I'm a talent acquisition specialist, I'm a benefits and compensations or a payroll administrator or employee relations champion or this and that. That is them specializing in one function of the profession. And some people would say, you know what, I want to do everything. I want to learn everything. What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? So if you're a new entrant into the profession, you're welcome. It's broad. I just mentioned core functions, like I said, not everything. So you may want to go and do more research and find out where your strength lies so that you can then begin to specialize as the case may be. As I bring this conversation to a close, I would like to say that for those of us that work in an environment or in an organization where the HR person or the HR department is not giving what it's supposed to give, you have my permission to go and tell them that they're not doing their job well. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. I don't have another job for you. But you can always point them in the direction, because we still have some people who entered into the profession and didn't know what it was about. They just liked the word HR, the power that it seems to give, or the fact that you can do certain things, and all that. And they don't really know the right things to do. This is your chance to point them in the right direction. Share this video with them so that they can learn and do more research as it applies and be able to do it right. So I hope that with these few points of mine, I've just been able to open your eyes to the various aspects of human resource. And in the next video, we would be doing a much deep dive first, into talent management from the angle of the HR persons, and to employees or to prospective candidates, people who are job seeking and all that. Till I see you next week, thank you for watching. Before you leave, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, and of course, I'll be looking to read your comments in the comment section. Thank you and adios.